Hey guys, you are now watching In the Seat with Valerie Perez. I'm really excited for our episode today because I've been waiting to have this episode for weeks. Today we're going to discuss women and politics. The 2016 election results sparked a reaction in women all over the nation. One prominent event that took place was the Women's March on January 21, 2017. Many women have been running for positions. Not only did Americans experience the first female presidential candidate in 2016, but 20 women ran for Congress this year, surpassing the 10 women who ran for Congress in 2016. I sat down with two other students to talk about women in politics. Welcome back, Comets. Today we have two wonderful guests. I'm here with Sabur and Maddie. Can you guys please introduce yourselves and tell us exactly how involved you are in politics, either off campus or on campus, and which political party you guys identify with?
So I'm the vice president of the College Democrats here on campus, and I'm also just aware of what's happening politically here in Texas as well as outside. I think it's important for us to be alert on what our surroundings are. So I just want to make sure that I advocate for people to make their voices heard and also get involved as they possibly can.
What about you, Maddie?
Hi guys, my name is Maddie Keith. I am a political science major here at UTD. In my role as the opinion editor for the Mercury, I have gotten a chance to meet and interview Beto O'Rourke, as well as Colin Allred, and I did get to cover the Women's March last February, which was really exciting, and we'll be interning with the State Department in the spring, so very excited about the opportunity.
That is exciting. Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
So we obviously know that ever since the 2016 election has happened, there's been more involvement in policy as far as women. Do you think this is long overdue? What do you think exactly about this larger participation?
I think in general women play a big role in the world. I think it starts from your household all the way to your jobs and to just the daily lives that we lead. But I think it is important for women to have their voices heard, and I think the current political state of this country has enabled them to be more motivated to go out there and do what it is that they want to do and get their voices heard. So I think it's been a positive effect as far as the women involvement that's been happening in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's interesting that you say that, because whenever I see any kind of like video clips of people like interviewing Michelle Obama, that's one of the things she says as well, that it starts with the household, and that's kind of how women are involved, and they're involved in a lot of other areas as well. Interesting. Mm-hmm. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think, going back to, even the Revolutionary War, John Adams' wife, Abigail, had a lot of influence on his politics and how the government was formed. Mm-hmm. And I think women have been operating behind the scenes for a long time. And I think right now we're just kind of beginning to kind of come out to the forefront, to the front of the stage and say, hey, we're here, we're working hard, and, now, it's time for us to kind of take the reins, take over the wheel a little bit, and then show everybody what we can do. And I think that's really great.
Yeah, I think it is great, but I also do think that it is kind of overdue. I think it's great that the 2016 election has sparked this to happen, but I think it would have been better if it, started long before that, Yeah. So that was one thing. What do you guys think about people who keep asking Michelle Obama if she'll run for president?
Well, I think it's an invasion of privacy, in general. I think that she's obviously highly educated. She's one of the most highly educated first ladies we've ever had in this country. Mm-hmm. And I think she's held her own through all the criticism that her and her husband have faced. But I also think that a lot of people are against the establishment, and the Obamas generally have become the establishment now. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it would be better if we had newer voices, younger women who, and it's not just women who are, voicing their opinions, but I think it would be better if we had younger women who have now decided, hey, well, let me speak up, because we're young and we want people that are young like us, who share the same values as us, to go out there and speak for us. So I think if she runs, it'd be great, but I think that we shouldn't keep bothering her about that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that she would run. Yeah. I think Obama did an interview, they were talking about, like, if he could run for a third term, and he said Michelle would probably divorce him.
Yeah.
You heard, if you watched the debate between Ted and Beto, you heard them talking about the impact it has on their family, and I know Michelle's very family-oriented, so I personally don't think she would run. I think she, as you were saying, she is a very, intelligent woman with, of course, a lot of policy background, so I think she'd probably do well, but there are a lot of opportunities for more women to kind of come to the foreground and voice their opinions and have their voices heard as well, like Sabor was saying. So.
Yeah, I think she's really private, and she's also really focusing on her Girls Around the World Foundation.
Yeah.
So I think as long as she keeps doing that, just because she's not technically involved in policy, there are other things she can do outside of policy that will help, girls around the world.
Exactly.
What do you think about Cynthia Nixon and now all these celebrities trying to run for positions?
Yeah, I actually wasn't really aware of Cynthia Nixon running, and then when I was kind of looking her up, I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think they have a name, so, they have that name recognition factor, which enables them to kind of fight that incumbency advantage of fighting this person who's well-established, who people are familiar with. So I don't think them necessarily being a celebrity is a bad thing, or should be something that disadvantages them. If they're well educated, I think is what matters. If they're well educated on the policy, if they have good plans for the future, and if they can kind of show that and prove that they're well established in their knowledge of politics, then I think that's really what matters.
Yeah.
But ultimately, she did, I believe, lose the primary, so it can hurt as well. It can be a detriment. So.
That's true. Yeah. Do you like her running?
I mean, I think that we have a serious problem in this generation and today's age in general of just thinking, like, if something ignites a fire in us, well, we're going to go do this and go full force, but then it kind of just stops in the middle. So I think that it's great that celebrities are getting involved because they do have a greater base that they can already start with. But at the same time, like you said, they should be educated on the policies and what it is that's truly affecting people before they can make a difference. But I think it's great for everyone to get involved because the more people that get involved, the more voices that are out there. So it's perfect.
I like that. I thought it was brave of her to step up. She has been a New Yorker her whole life. So I think the fact that, I was watching another interview with her and she mentioned how it was her time to step up. And the fact that, so many people can say, this and this is wrong, or whatever they feel about a certain topic, but they don't necessarily do anything about it. So at least she tried. Maybe she won't have that good of a chance, but she did something for it. So I think that's really good. You mentioned the Women's March earlier. Did you guys go to the one in 2017? So the big one, yeah. Just any.
I did go to the Women's March here. I thought it was it last year?
Yeah, it was summer of 2017.
No, the one they had here was not in the summer. It was in the winter.
Was it in the winter?
Yeah.
That's what
I did go to that. I did go to that. I thought it was cool to see a diverse group of people and women who weren't fighting each other. We were just fighting together. Yeah. And I think a lot of people get it confused as to they just think, women are trying to take over this. It's like the feminist movement. It's first of all, we're not all feminists, number one. Number two, we all have just an idea that we want to get further out there, which is that we want to have the same rights and we want to have the same opportunities. We want equal pay. We want these simple things that we're just fighting for. And I thought it was really great that it was just women of all different backgrounds. It didn't matter who you were married to, what race you were, what your sexual orientation were. We were just all fighting for each other. So I thought that was a beautiful part of the march.
Did you go?
I didn't go. I think the first time, of course, it was very spontaneous, and so I didn't really know about it until it was happening. Yeah. The second time, of course, I covered it for the paper, and that was a really interesting experience. I think it's, it can be very empowering in hearing these women speak and kind of marching together, kind of shouting chants together and stuff. It's a lot of fun to be a part of. I will temper that kind of with a more conservative perspective. I think a lot of times, it might be kind of a lot of it will become more like pro-choice, so it kind of become about that. As somebody who's pro-life, it's not really something that I of course advocate, but I definitely think that there are a lot of things that Sabor was talking about that of course is really great to put out there and perpetuate those ideas. So I did enjoy that portion of the experience.
It's probably also worth noting that not everyone there was necessarily pro-choice, because I do feel like a lot of times people are like, okay, well, if you're going to the Women's March, you have the same ideals as everyone else. When really it's not like that. We might not even be pro-choice, but we just want women to have equal pay or whatever. But it was just general. It was the idea of empowering women and making sure that we move forward together. So that's the best part of it.
Yeah, when I went, I'm not gonna lie, there was like a portion where like someone was playing the guitar, and it was like, you know, because I got emotional. I was like, I can't believe I'm here. Like, if I ever have a daughter, I'm gonna tell her about this moment and how impactful it was for me and like my life. But yeah, so that looks like that's all the show we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming by and, you know, talking about this with us. I think we're really gonna like the coverage that we got today. Be sure to check out the observatory and the other videos on our YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.